Well, welcome everybody to a very special day. I was telling our new coach that it's a sign of my age. I remember when Rich came in as a freshman, and the fact that now he's a coach shows you that I've been around here a long, long time. But I could not be happier. And I know Terry's going to tell you all about Rich's background, but I know that UCF is getting someone that the three letters on the front of the jersey really matter to them, and that's very, very special. So welcome home to Rich's family. And this has been your home, but now it's going to be baseball home for many years to come. We thank you all for gathering today. It's an exciting time at UCF. You're going to hear from our new head baseball coach, and he'll share his vision for what he has for this program as we embark on a new journey for UCF baseball and UCF athletics in the Big 12. To first begin our festivities today, let me bring up the Vice President Director of Athletics, Mr. Terry Mohawk.
Another exciting day, UCF, so thank you for everybody showing up today. It's very exciting, and you learn a lot about a program when you start making calls around the country. And what I found out really quickly when our baseball position opened up, how this is perceived as a national job. And we've talked to a lot of coaches across the country, top assistants, sitting head coaches, MLB guys, and a lot of different people from different backgrounds, but we kept getting drawn to one individual. Let me tell you about Rich Wallace and a little bit about him. He's an Orlando native. He's the former UCF baseball player, former Knights assistant coach, 2 decades of experience as a Division I baseball head coach, or assistant coach. He has coached at Florida State, Notre Dame, Jacksonville, Creighton, High Point, and UCF. He's been to the College World Series. He's been to the Super Regionals. He knows what the NCAA tournament is all about because either his teams have been in the bracket or has worked hard to help set up those programs to play at the next level. He has been the recruiting coordinator at almost every stop, so he knows what it takes to go after the best players in the country. He was named the Big East Recruiter of the Year by Division I Baseball in 2016 while he was at Creighton. And at High Point, which is a really challenging place to recruit to, helped bring them to consecutive national ranked recruiting classes for the first time in school history. He knows UCF as a 2004 graduate and a player on 3 consecutive teams that played in the NCAA tournament. I graduated from Bishop Moore High School here in Orlando, and one little known fact, because I got the text on Saturday from guys you may know, Blake Bortles. Anybody know who he is? Well, evidently, Rich coached Blake Bortles when he was a travel ball, and he was his head coach. So when he was 12 years old, Blake Bortles was coached by Rich Wallace as the head coach in travel ball, which I thought was interesting. Gave the longest text I've ever received from a former player about Rich. Rich is here today with his wife Alex. We might want to do you mind just raising your hand? And there you go. Daughters Easton, you want to raise your hand? There you go. Daughter Max, with 2 X's. 2 X's. Yeah. And then Rich's mom, Nancy Bieber. Thank you for being here today to celebrate this wonderful accomplishment. The bottom line is I firmly believe that Rich has a great understanding of what it takes to be at UCF and to compete, to be successful in the Big 12. And he has the skills and backgrounds to make it happen. He knows how to recruit a tournament team, but more importantly, he knows how to create an Omaha roster. On a personal note, anytime you can find a candidate that fits the UCF way, you have to take a serious look. Now, some of you may be thinking, what's the UCF way? In my mind, having been here for over 2 years now, and talking to a lot of alumni and a lot of former student athletes, in my mind, the UCF way is, in order to achieve something that they have never had, you have to do something you never did. And take risks along the way so when the opportunity comes, they are ready. They had to find their own way to reach the pinnacle of their professions. We have thousands of examples of alumni across this great country that have achieved great success because of their will, their sheer will. I'm drawn to people that are high achievers, and no matter what environment they are in, they thrive based on their sheer grit and their determination. No job is too small as long as it prepares them for their long-term goals. And no matter what the challenges are in front of them, they find a way to accomplish their goals. Well, I can tell you, Rich too embodies the UCF way. So I'd like to introduce you to your new baseball coach, Rich Wallace. Right here?
Yep.
There you go. 39.
Dug it out of the cellar there.
That might have been your jersey.
It might
I
have-
don't know.
it
We
might have been.
found that. So, awesome. Thank you. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Man, it feels great to be home. It truly does. This is a special place. It's a special place to me, special place to my family. I started here 24 years ago as a first-generation college student, just fighting to find a way to get on the field, to have a chance to play. Became a student assistant coach, and I was washing baseball pants in the bathtub of a hotel right next to FIU. It wasn't great, but we did it. To being a volunteer coach here that was staying up till 10:30 at night working the UCF Ball League, and to stand here today and come home and be the head coach at UCF, it's truly a dream come true. I want to thank Dr. Cartwright and Terry Mohajer for putting their faith in me and allowing me to lead this baseball program into the Big 12 Conference. Their commitment and long-term vision for the building of this program will allow us to set a new standard for UCF baseball. I'll be forever grateful. Thank you, Terry. I've been fortunate in my career to coach with and work for a handful of great college baseball coaches and men, from Jay Bergman to Craig Cozart, Ed Service, Chris Hayes at Jacksonville, and Lane Jarrett. I would not be here without their leadership and guidance throughout this journey. Guys stuck my family up in the front. This is tough. Hold it together, guys. To our alumni, I want this to be a team and a program that you are proud of. Whether I've coached you, played beside you, or watched you play, I want you to know that we want you involved. We need you involved now more than ever. This is your home. I want you guys back here all the time. To my wife, you're the head coach of our family. Everybody was saying nice things about me, but she sacrificed so much. I am so grateful for everything that you've done. I'll give you some stats on her. That's 6 moves total. We have moved back to the state of Florida 3 times, 5 moves in the last 10 years, and we're going to have 3 homes in the last 12 months. And I've had nothing to do with that. That's all you. So thank you. To my daughters, Easton and Max, you guys didn't choose this crazy life. Your mom did. You didn't. But you've embraced it wholeheartedly, and you are the 2 toughest little girls in the world. And I love you both. Don't cry, Max. To my mom, my UCF journey would never have happened if it wasn't for what you sacrificed, and you gave me the opportunity to come here. I know how much you sacrificed and how hard you worked for that opportunity for me. Thank you. To the current Knights and future Knights, don't let the gray hair fool you. I'm not that far removed from where you guys are right now. I can relate to what you're going through, what you've gone through, what we're going to do together. This program will always be about the players and the players first. I am here to create a College World Series caliber baseball program. And that starts with creating with championship men that our alumni, our fan base, and the university can be proud of. We will excel in the classroom and be involved in this community. My experience here as a student athlete was more than I could ask for. And our student athletes' experience will be at the forefront of everything that we do. On the field, the focus of this program will play aggressive, fundamentally sound baseball in all three phases of the game. That obviously starts with evaluating and recruiting, and that's going to start right here in town. We're going to recruit Orlando first. We're going to work our way down the I-4 corridor, and then we'll work our way through the state. But we're going to start recruiting right here and bring those kids to UCF. Once they are here, we're going to exhaust every resource we can to develop them as men and as players, whatever we got to do. This program has accomplished a lot of things to this point. 9 conference championships, 12 NCAA regionals, 13 big leaguers, countless All-Americans. We've done a lot. We've been knocking on the door for a long time. I'm here to help those kids finally kick that door in and turn this program to what we want it to be. Thank you. Go Knights.
So maybe if you have any questions for Rich, please put your hand up and he'll acknowledge you and feel free to ask away.
Rich, Brandon Elwood with Robbins.com. Congratulations on being named head baseball coach. Just as a player, as someone who entered this university 20 plus years ago, you've seen this program grow. You've seen this stadium go up. It looks a lot different now. Just kind of what were your initial thoughts when, I guess Terry gave you the call and offered you the job, being an alum, knowing it's your dream job?
Yeah, I mean, it goes, Terry called me, offered me a job. I said yes, and that were as fast as I could. I showed up here 20-something years ago, and this field was a mountain of sand with 3 sticks in the ground where the bases were going to be, and this was just a vision, and you see it grow to what it was, and now to come back to this, I'm just excited to be back home.
Rich, Jason Beatty, Orlando Sentinel. What are the characteristics of a Rich Wallace coached baseball team?
Well, I think aggressive in all phases, whether that's pitching, base running, defense, the offensive part of it, fundamentally sound and competitive throughout. Everybody talks about competing. Like for us, that's being at your mental and physical best for that moment at all times. And that's where it'll be. And I think in a championship program, there's 5 phases you have to be elite at to be elite. And all 5 of them have to be elite or you're in trouble. And that's the evaluation, the recruitment of student athletes, player development, program development, and then the last one that comes heavily in our game is the game management. And you have to be elite in all 5 of those phases, and that's our plan.
Bryson Turner, Black and Gold Banner. Congratulations, Coach. UCF first gave you your first coaching job back in the early 2000s. Now they give you your first head coaching job. What does it mean to you to get you to finally become a head coach after being an assistant for so long?
Well, this is home. And to start my career here and to hopefully finish my career here has been my goal for 20 plus years in this. Everything I did was to get back here somehow, some way, and lead this baseball program. And I'm just grateful to have a chance.
Coach Trey Strelko, Sons of UCF. What has made you so successful as a recruiter?
Yeah, recruiting is all about hard work, connections, relating with the student athlete before they're actually your student athlete. So I would say hard work, creating relationships, true relationships with the student athletes, and figuring out a way to get it done.
Rich, congratulations, Alice Walker, Channel 9 in Orlando. Overheard you over there saying you want to build a monster here. How much of the opportunity to join the Big 12 and the opportunity to have that Central Florida footprint in a new conference went into your decision, realizing that this is a sleeping giant of what it can be?
No doubt. And last year in the World Series, up until the World Series, we played Texas Tech in the regional, Oklahoma and Texas in the College World Series. So I got to see the difference there, just the level of athleticism and the talent in the Big 12. If you are challenging to win the Big 12, you will be in the NCAA tournament. You will probably have a chance to host an NCAA tournament. If you can do that in the Big 12, you're going to have a chance to win that regional tournament. And if we can get a super regional on this field, I'll take the 2 out of 3 and get this thing where we need to go.
Rich, Jason Beatty with the Orlando Sentinel again. You mentioned you want to recruit Orlando at the high school level, but what's your philosophy around the NCAA transfer portal?
I think the transfer portal is real. It's extremely helpful. I think you're using the transfer portal to fill immediate needs. We're going to recruit elite high school players and build our program around that. And if we need to supplement out of the transfer portal, we will. But it's real, it helps, and it's not going away.
Coach, I look around the room and I see a lot of familiar faces, a lot of guys you played with through the years, a lot of guys driving 2-3 hours just to be here for this press conference. What does that support mean to you, and what has the outpouring of support been like?
It's unbelievable. The texts, the phone calls from you guys, the support getting to this point, I couldn't have asked for more. And somebody, I think Mark asked me what UCF meant to me. And to me, UCF baseball, first and foremost, is family. And the bond that those guys have, whether I coached you, whether I played with you, or if you're just in this baseball community in Central Florida, it's special, it's real, and it means a lot, and I appreciate that, guys.
It's just day one, but set some fan expectations with this move into the Big 12. What can fans expect in your first year?
I'm hoping that we play a brand of baseball that's aggressive, fundamentally sound, and that our alumni can look out there and go, I know what's going on. They got a plan, and they're going to execute it, and we'll get this thing rolling sooner rather than later.
Coach, when you left UCF in 2008, what is the difference between that man that first left UCF to go to the Rich Wallace we say today returning home?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, and most coaches will probably tell you this, is it was 10 years ago, I had children, and my outlook on coaching was so much wins and losses till that point. And we had Easton and Max, and you become a dad, and you look at this, I mean, those guys on that team are going to be my kids. And I'm going to love them. We're going to figure this thing out together. It's a family. And that, when you were born, Easton, that's kind of that switch.
Rich, Matt Rochelle from the Orlando Sentinel. You walk in and you walk on campus again. What kind of your favorite memories? What kind of memories come to you about your experience here at UCF, and what stood out to you?
Favorite memory? I mean, I'll give a funny story for some of the UCF. Like the first time we walked on this field in the fall of 2000, we walked down there and the dugouts were about 3 feet too short and we couldn't get out. You remember that? And to knock that down, we practice outside. And then to see where this thing is now, it's unbelievable. The moments on this field that were championship moments. From the 2000 team to, not the 2001 team, the 2002 team that, guys, we lost that game to Delaware. Were you on that team? You were a freshman, right? We lost the game to Delaware here, and we had to clean the stands up with trash bags by ourselves in the uniform. I think we started off 0-3 in Atlantic Sun Conference and went on a run that you wouldn't believe, and won the league and the tournament. Just those moments with those guys stand out to me the most.
Coach, you came to this field with FSU last season. What did you see with the UCF baseball team that you saw last season that you can build off of as you come in and take over the program?
Well, it looked like there was a decent amount of athletes, some variety in the left and right hitting. The arms we saw were obviously very good. They didn't score very many runs, so that sticks out in my head. Andrew Sundin and some of those guys, there's some talented players here, and we're looking to build around them and get this thing going.
Final question for Rich.
Coach, obviously time is of the essence with recruiting and transfer portal. What are the next steps for you? I imagine finalizing a staff is something you're going to be focused on here in the next few hours, I think. You're right.
Correct. I'm trying to get that done by tonight, get all that done. I've already started calling some of the 23s and then moving our way down to the 24s and then assessing the roster and what we can do and how we can manipulate that and get this thing ready for the fall. And how we get there, there's a long way to go.
Thank you, Rich. Appreciate it. If anybody's got questions for Terry, you're more than welcome. If not, we can do our one-on-ones. So if anybody's got, put your hand up. Otherwise, we'll wrap up. Anybody got questions for Terry? Talk to him afterwards. Rich Wallace, everybody, UCF Baseball.
You guys want to take pictures? You guys want to come on, take a picture?
One more.